This is a 2014 Shelby GT500 Super Snake, and if you're an OG to the channel, you knew that I actually owned one of these. I sold it since then, but today we're going to give you a proper review and feature of this vehicle again. It's got 1,000 horsepower and is extremely exclusive. Just a few of these were made with the whole shot package and upgraded Watts Link suspension. Literally, this is not no normal Super Snake. This has been taken to the next level, and it still runs on pump gas with 1,000 plus horsepower with that 6-speed manual transmission. Today, I can't wait to get back inside, especially join up with my friend Scott, the owner. Okay, we're gonna keep this one very fast paced because the joy of this video is looking and seeing what it's like behind the wheel. First off though, I have to show you underneath the hood because this is the soul of the GT500 Super Snake, and you won't see many other Mustangs on the street with a similar setup to this. And surprisingly, this is pretty light. When you look at the newer GT500s, I believe it weighs more than this. When the GT500 came out for the 2013 and 2014 model years, it was around 3,900 pounds, 3,900 pounds. The newer 2020 GT500s and up were 4,100 pound plus Mustangs, which is crazy. Okay, so real quickly, underneath the hood, here's what we have going on. To the GT500 Super Snake now versus my car, I believe I had a 3.6 liter Kenny Bell supercharger, but this is a 4-liter Whipple. My Super Snake with the whole shot package put down 860 wheel horsepower. His, I think, will put down even more. And uniquely, with a Shelby upgrade, you get non-stop Shelby badges all over the engine bay. This does have the 1,000 horsepower upgrade, which retailed for $55,995. It comes with a complete Shelby forged bottom end, including pistons, rods, rings, coated main and rod bearings, plus crankshaft. Also, with the 2014 GT500, it did have a carbon fiber drive shaft underneath, but they pulled that out because they needed a stronger setup for the upgraded power. For the fuel system, you do have new 80-pound injectors with the custom 1,000 horsepower fuel system, including rails, hat, and twin 400 LPH fuel pumps. Regarding cooling for the vehicle, they have changed out the hood. This is the Super Snake hood that gives you these dual exit vents on either side. Interestingly, the owner, Scott, has made the front section functional. Originally, when these leave the factory, that vent is closed. Yeah, believe it or not, that vent doesn't actually work. Another Super Snake dedicated feature down below is this Super Snake branded lower radiator. The only piece that is not standard on his GT500 Super Snake that I can see right here towards the front end is this extended front splitter he put on because he uses this vehicle for the track and he wanted more front end downforce. Coming to the right, here's how you know you have an original Shelby American vehicle. You get these custom CSM numbers, and he lucked out with a number in the low 70s. You get one plaque there, and then you have a secondary plaque on the interior center column right there. You do have a new super twin clutch, which drives very differently than the standard Tremec TR660 system you get with a GT500. I'll talk more about that behind the wheel. There's just so much here with this vehicle in terms of upgrades that the owner, Scott, actually chose to do for the vehicle. Towards the rear end, you also have a new Watts Link system, billet upper and lower control arms, new Shelby by Willwood brakes, and Super Snake wheels. He's done it right by putting on custom Toyo R888Rs for the vehicle. Standard, it comes with a Michelin, I think, Super Sports, which have been phased out and are now the PS4s. This should work very well, I think, for the platform that he's dealing with. It's a lot of power, and I think you probably will struggle putting it all down depending on the road service conditions. However, we're gonna see what it's like out here. Another Super Snake dedicated upgrade you get from Shelby American are these side intakes on the right. Then finally, coming to the rear end, you can get tons of upgraded carbon fiber pieces, such as this carbon fiber lip on the rear wing. He does have the carbon fiber rear diffuser down below, which looks really cool. I believe these are hydro dipped carbon fiber pieces. My favorite point of the vehicle, though, towards the rear end, are these Shelby by Borla exhaust pipes. They screw scream with the performance cams and header system that this vehicle actually has. It's so iconic seeing the Shelby GT500 snake right there, because towards the newer model years, they've changed the way it looks. It no longer has that curvy and classic stigma to it. It is futuristic now with harsh angles. This is a proper throwback. This right here is a really fun place to be because they've changed Mustang interiors so much over the years. They really have. And it's cool getting a throwback like this. It's amazing A-pillar gauges all to your left, featuring boost, fuel pressure, and oil pressure. Then in the middle, you have a gauge system that's analog and goes over 200 miles an hour. Down below to the right is your Super Snake official plaque telling you what number you have, so 73 for him. And then that amazing cue ball short throw shifter right there with the Super Snake logo. I love that. I wish we saw more manual transmissions like this. You keep a analog actual handbrake versus the electronic ones that you get in the newer generation Mustangs, and the rest of the interior is definitely more, I say, accurate for the historical presence of Mustang. Finally, Shelby does change the seat covers for the Super Snake. This is a new catskin leather interior seating system, while the cover is different on the Recaro seats, that is. And behind, Scott has installed a roll cage system with harnesses for the track. Okay guys, here we go, starting up the Super Snake. Let's put the clutch in. Let's put back up the emergency brake. We're in neutral right now, and let's start it up. Here we go. Wow. Yeah, you don't hear anything else like that on the street. No supercar sounds like that. Not even the Demon 170 that we tested out last month sounds like this. We're joining up with Scott. Thank you so much, man, for letting me experience your car again. Of course. You guys got to check out the drifting video with Scott we did a couple years ago. This vehicle, I mean, this is his snake therapy, and it is just brutal. The vibrations we can feel right now, everything. But yeah, Scott's a great guy. He even owns a Plaid, which is weird how you own that in this. I don't understand how someone can have a garage collection like that. But let's wait for these cars to go real quickly, and let's put it in gear and see what it's like again. I miss this sound so much. I'm so happy to be back inside this car. The clutch is very heavy on this vehicle. It's gonna be very smooth on the release. Putting on powers. Okay, here we go. Leaving this Cars and Coffee event right now. Wow, it's just so brutal and raw all the time throughout the RPM, dude. This thing puts a massive smile on your face, Scott. I love it. Clutch in, rolling down. Your vehicle is tuned differently than mine was. Mine had like pops baked into it. Trying to be very smooth on that clutch release. Once you learn how to drive this car, I think it's easy to drive. Well, not easy, it's just easier. Wow, if you don't know what you're doing though, you're gonna have a hard time driving this vehicle because it's just too raw, right? Clutch in. I miss driving manual cars. It's a bummer that the 1,000 horsepower Dodge Demon 170 doesn't have a manual. I understand why, it's all about the drag strip time, but there's nothing like high horsepower manual vehicles. And there's a Shelby GT350R right there. Look at that. This thing's brutal. Okay, here we go, turning right. Here we go, guys. Whoa. That's crazy, man. Dude, I miss this car so much. Shifting through the gears, having that notchy tactile feeling is just incredible. I miss these manual cars. There's no Mustang like this on the market. The Dark Horse, none of them can give you this level of thrill with the power because there's nothing that's high horsepower out right now. Even the GT500, Scott, with the dual clutch transmission, and you rode in that car, and I think you enjoyed it. It's very obtainable. The power delivery, it's very smooth. This is something that, like, you got to wrap your head around the fact, getting behind the wheel, if I'm not super cautious or understand what I'm dealing with under my right foot, that tail end might get some squirrely action in a fun way. Oh, yeah. What I'm noticing with your car, Scott, is that, well, the Super Snake in general with this much power, it doesn't want to go slow. If I go slow, it wants to kind of conk out on me.
It's harder to drive under 100 in this car than is my fast.
That's probably so true. But once you get going finally, everything gets good. Even when I try to maintain a certain throttle position, if I barely let off anymore, I can feel it kind of hunker back down. It's either on power or deceleration, right? Wow. The question is though, Scott, how did we go from cavemen to this? It doesn't make any sense. Everything is vibrating, the entire car inside. The pedals are vibrating, the seats are vibrating, the steering wheel is vibrating. It's insane. Wow. That's not like the new Mustangs, man. The new ones are getting so refined, so smooth. It makes sense that they can't build something like this because this is so unhinged, right?
Yeah.
There's a select target audience for this type of vehicle.
Yeah, true.
A pure raw hot rod, I would say most people won't fit that mold. This is insane, man. What?
That was insane.
Scott, the clutch is so heavy in this car with the super twin clutch. My leg is getting sore and I feel like way up top now. At first I was like, nah, this is fun. Now it's such a workout. This is a vehicle that you're getting behind the wheel of, and you have to be so precise on your throttle management, your clutch input, and also when you release it. If you mess that up, it's just gonna fight and die right there on the road. You can't. So your brain is working on overtime, analyzing everything you're doing, but then so are your muscles. It's like a balance that's unbelievable. That's power. Oh my! What? Whoa! It's hard to drive though, I'll be honest, it's hard. But it's thrilling. It's so fun. They don't make stuff like this anymore. They just don't. I know why everyone loves S197 Mustangs. The scene is so big, and the name Super Snake is legendary because on this vehicle, it stands for something unlike anything else. It's not like a Shelby F-150 Super Snake or that model. You know, it's cool, but it's not. This is insane. Wow. Scott, it's a ton of fun, man. Thank you very much for wanting to link up.
I'm glad we were able to do it, make it work, make it happen.
I know it's hard to hear him right now. It's not the audio quality of the video. It's just, this car is so loud. The rumble is happening all the time. It's a proper hot rod. People imagine a big engine in a rear-wheel drive American vehicle like a Mustang. This fits that wild imagination that you get, right? 100%. I think it's gonna be a rare collectible in the future. I miss mine. I think he's nailed with his. If you guys are interested in checking out Super Snake yourself, I don't even know how many are for sale of these anymore. They could be hard to find. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe. And while you do that, hit the notification bell so you're up to date on all the new videos coming out. We gotta get this back on the track, don't we, sometime?
We do.
We gotta do it. All right, guys. See ya.